Hi, my name is Olivia, and I want to tell you a story about me and my family. There has never been a time in my life when anyone in my house was healthy except for me. I was the second child, and my older brother had muscular dystrophy. I remember that when we were little, we would get to play together all the time. As he got older, though, his ability to do things lessened, and soon he really couldn't play with me anymore. My parents had to work extra hard to give him as normal a life as possible, so I started to feel lonely. Then after a few years, I found out that my mother was pregnant again.
We've got a little challenge that'll take 5 seconds, and it will change your life forever. You ready? All you gotta do is like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, and you'll receive 10 free years of good luck. It's as simple as that.
I didn't care what the baby would act like, or if it would be a boy or a girl. I just wanted it to be healthy. Even before my baby sister was born, the doctors did testing and found that my sister had a heart defect. My parents were devastated at the news of another unhealthy child, but were determined to help her the best they could. I was heartbroken that once again I was the only healthy kid in the family. My whole childhood was spent in waiting rooms or hospitals for my brother and sister. I couldn't do anything except just sit there and hope. Other kids would talk about things they did with their siblings, and I just wished that they could be healthy and I could be like everyone else. My father was also unhealthy with type 1 diabetes. He used to be able to control it, but he started to ration his insulin to help afford medicine and other things for my siblings. So he too was very sick a lot of the time. I hated that they were all so sick and I couldn't do anything. It was just me and my mom as the only healthy ones, and I prayed that she would stay healthy too. It didn't make a difference though, and one day she started to get sick as well. I wasn't told right away why she was getting so sick, and that's when I saw her losing her hair. My mother had been diagnosed with breast cancer and was undergoing chemotherapy. Just like that, I was the only healthy person in my family and started to feel really depressed about everything. I wasn't just sad that my entire family was sick, but that I was healthy. I started to feel guilty that I was the only healthy one and that I should be doing more to help them. I was still just a teenager though, and couldn't really do much to help them at all. A few months later, we found out that my sister needed a new heart, and just like that, she was back in the hospital. I could see the kind of pain she was in, and I wanted nothing more than to just take all that pain away from her and give it to myself. At one point, I started looking up ways that I could get sick too, because I thought that if I was sick, then maybe they would all get healthy. I know it didn't make sense, but in my teenage head, I was desperate, and logic didn't matter to me anymore. Even after my sister got a new heart, she still suffered from many health issues. Meanwhile, my brother's condition kept making him deteriorate, and he needed help with more and more things. It seemed like a never-ending cycle of one of them getting worse, and I was just stuck here healthy and unable to do anything. I started to isolate myself from everyone, and instead got into a bad habit of doing research into these diseases and seeing how horrible they really were for the people that had them. I was all out of ideas until one day at school my teacher handed me back my test and pulled me aside. She said that I had an extreme talent for science and that I should be thinking of having a career in it. Now, until then, I hadn't really thought about my future at all, and instead was just focused on my family and their health problems. That's when I got an idea and figured out that there was a better way that I could try and help my family instead. I could try to become a doctor and do research into these diseases. The more I did positive research and raised money for the causes, the better I felt. My siblings were proud of me, and I made sure to study extra hard and get involved in the communities for all of the diseases. I did walks to earn money for research and connected with other families that had similar problems. For the first time in my life, I didn't feel alone and depressed. Other people were in the same situation as me and taught me how to get rid of the guilt I had for being healthy and instead taking advantage of it. Now, I'm not a doctor yet, but I still make steps every single day to try and reach that goal. I think about the hours that were spent sitting in a chair, waiting to hear the latest grim news about one of my family members. This time, though, it was to hear that my mother survived her cancer and was in remission. Finally, things were starting to look positive, and it gave me a new sense of hope that I could make a change. One day, instead of sitting in one of those chairs and waiting to hear the bad news, I will be on the other side, trying to give families better news and hope. After a few months, we are able to get the solution to my father and brother health issue, so they are able to live a normal life like others, but my sister's still on sick bed. Kindly pray for my sister.